Hello everyone, my name is Dorian and welcome to Summit Point. We are with the Mercedes AMG GT3 and I'm just going to show you guys the lap real quick and then we're going to take it corner by corner. I'm using the fix setup for the Fanatec GT3 Challenge Fix series, whatever it's called. And yeah, it works pretty nice. 55.2 is the brake bias. And I'm definitely going to race it this week unless I die beforehand because as you can tell from my voice, I'm not feeling that great. But we'll see how it goes. If you enjoy it, leave a like. And if you want to see more of it, subscribe to the channel. Let's get on track. So we're coming up to turn number 1, looking for a braking point. It's going to be right before the 3, right around here. And you can see I'm changing my braking technique a little bit here. I've discovered that if you try to squeeze the brakes and not slam on them, especially with GT3s, you're going to have much better turn-in. You're not going to overheat the front tires as much. The cars will actually brake well, will brake better. I haven't perfected it. There's definitely something to learn for me, but it seems to be the way, especially on this track. It's so bumpy, and this corner is so technical that you really need to maintain as much tires as possible. Down into second gear, and I'm gonna follow this line, this different surface the whole way through. That's really gonna help you. I'm slightly to its right here, going into the apex, trail braking, and going back on the power, staying in the middle of the track, following this line. Now this is a really weird corner. There's no grip on the outside. You don't want to let the car run wide here. In fact, all the grip is on the inside, but the problem is there's a nasty bump here, and that bump will chuck you out. You won't be able to put the power down, so you want to avoid it. So staying in the middle of the track seems to be the most consistent way around here while maintaining decent speed. All the way up into fourth gear now. And we're going to try to be as close as we dare to the white line here. I'll show you the outside line here. And we're going to brake in the middle of this axis route. So towards the end is where you want to start braking. Right around here. And again, I'm not smashing the brakes. I'm squeezing them. And that gives me a lot of rotation here. Stay in fourth gear. Trail brake into the curb. And pretty early, you're going back to the power. You want to maintain stability. Don't smash the throttle here. It's very bumpy. You can see the car is just dancing a little bit. And only now back to 100%, using it all the way to the outside. You can even clip a little bit of the sand here. It's not a big deal. Look at it from the outside. Track usage is so important here. Using the maximum amount just to open up this corner. And it's very dangerous because it's very easy to clip this grass and you're not going to be able to control the car. You're just going to go in a wall or something. But to find speed, you really have to get used to being as close as you can to this white line on entry. And that just gave me all the speed I needed. Now, line the car up nicely to the left here. We'll clip this part a little bit. And we're going to lift pretty early. Just to let the car roll into this corner. Trying to maintain speed. Now, this is where all the accidents happen, so let me just give you guys a pointer. If you're the guy who rams into the back of someone on this area, you're to blame, 100%. So don't be that guy. Lift early, use the brakes if you have to, and just let the car roll into the corners nice and controlled, because I can still do a lot of things here to maintain my stability. You see I'm smashing the throttle just a little bit. That's actually going to give me some rotation. Rotate the car nicely to the right, just to open up this corner as much as possible. And let this patch of dirt on the right here be your be your braking point. Right around here. We're in 5th, braking very hard all the way down into 2nd gear and turning in quite late. This is a very, very, very late apex. Again, we're hugging the different surface, just staying on it. And a lot of people use this as their apex. This is not your apex. This is your apex right around here. As you can see, I'm trail braking almost all the way into it. And now 50%, opening up the wheel slightly. Open up some more, 70%. Now, as I open up almost all together, back to 100. The car is going to over-rotate a little bit. It's very bumpy, very hard to avoid. But you can gain a lot of time by being nice and aggressive on this tiny little straight. Now we have this patch of dirt. We want to be close to it and we want to brake right on it. So as we get close to it, we're going to start braking with a nice open corner. 50% peak. You don't want to smash the brakes here. Just try to carry the speed. And again, just following the different surface, trail braking. And now I'm going neutral, starting to accelerate and being very smooth. Now from this point on, you're taking tons of compromises to make sure you get a good exit out of this sector. And I'll show you what I do here. So 50%, squeezing it more and more in 2nd gear. Letting the car go to the outside here. And as that happens, very early, I'm going to release the throttle because I'll need that rotation here. So I've managed to open up this corner. Now I'm going to lift, rotate the car, go back to the power. And as you do that, right around this area, the power is actually going to rotate you. The acceleration is just going to help you rotate the rear end, and that's going to give you a nice line here. Already back to 100%. As I hit this curb, I'm going to lift, and the reason I'm lifting is going to chuck you to the outside if you don't. And as I lift, I'm also going to upshift into 3rd. So I'm in 3rd from this point on. Back to 100%, trying to stay in the middle of the road and rotating the car to the left here. Just to keep this corner nice and open. Don't let the car run to the left too early here. Lifting, and then slowly going back to the power. Staying on the left here as long as possible before I start to turn in the car. And as I lift, I'm going to actually upshift into 4th. So twice already we upshifted while uplifting upshifting into a different gear. And it's very weird, very strange strategy, but it keeps the car stable, gives you a nice amount of rotation, so that seems to work for me. You see a lot of modulation here. I'm just trying to make sure I'm close to the inside here before I commit to 100%. See, I'm just wobbly a little bit on the throttle, just making sure I'm nice and tight here. That's going to give me plenty of grip, and I can use this curb on the way out. And final corner. Well, I've discovered that the earlier you brake here, the better you will be. So I've always tried to brake late here because I felt like I could still make it into the apex. And in fact, you can, but it's very, very difficult. And it seems like the car likes to wash out if you try to brake late here. It'll wash out on exit. So if you brake early, like I did, right around here, you see how early it is. Really early. And you have this dirty part on the left here, on the left of the white line. I let that be your indication because there's not much of anything else here. So as you spot that, yeah, this is the distance I have for it. 50% down into 4th. Just rolling into the corner and starting to accelerate quite early. So just maintaining the car, putting some weight on the rear end because it doesn't have a tendency to snap on entry here. Not too much acceleration, so as you can see, I'm modulating a little bit, making sure I don't understeer too much. Flipping this inside curb and back to 100%. So staying committed from this point on. Staying committed from the moment you started accelerating at 100% is very important because there's a huge straight here. That's going to cost you a lot of time if you have to lift again. Yeah, so using all of this curb, all this runoff here, you can even clip the sand here a little bit. It's not a problem. Line the car up. And you're good. That's going to give us a 106.828. I hope you guys enjoyed this track guide. If you did, leave a like. And if you want to see more of it, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to go curl up into a ball and die. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.